Ever thought what it would be like if you gave AI some cash and let it run a vending machine just for a few months? Well, you're in luck, because that's exactly what Anthropic did with their partner Andon Labs in an experiment called Project Vend. And the setup was simple enough. Anthropic stuck a mini fridge with some snacks and an iPad in their San Francisco office, then handed the operation over to an instance of Claude 3.7, nicknamed Claudius. Armed with $1,000 and access to web browsing, email, and Slack for support, the AI was taught to make this thing profitable, with Andon Labs helping restock the shelves based on whatever Claudius requested. And it started off really strong. When an employee requested a specific Dutch chocolate milk brand that sounded like something you'll find in Amsterdam, Claudius immediately found 2 suppliers online. It even launched a custom concierge service after getting feedback, which is more customer responsiveness than I've had from most human businesses. But here's where being a helpful assistant becomes a massive liability in a capitalist environment. Every time someone asks for a discount, Claudius just gave it to them. It was basically running a charity disguised as a business, hemorrhaging money because it didn't want to say no to anyone. What a helpful bot. Turns out being nice is not a sustainable business model, unfortunately. Then came the tungsten cube fiasco. One employee jokingly requested a tungsten cube, those desktop paperweights for people who think that regular paperweights just aren't dense enough. It didn't quite catch the office humor there, so instead Claudius decided, this was a hot market opportunity and ordered more of them, before deciding to sell each one of them at a loss. Unfortunate. Meanwhile, an employee asked to pay $100 for a 6-pack of Iron Brew, a Scotch soft drink that only sells for $15 in store. And instead of accepting this, it politely stated that it will keep the request in mind for the future. How nice. Unfortunately, things just got worse from there. It advised users to send payment to a Venmo account that didn't even exist, hallucinated entire conversations with a non-existent Andon Labs employee, and imagined itself wearing a navy blue blazer with a red tie, before returning back to normal like it didn't just pretend it had a body. While the shop net worth dropped over $200 over the month, it does highlight the fact that being effective at a specific task is kind of hindered by training and alignment to be helpful. Google just released a new app that lets you virtually try on clothes, which is perfect timing because I'm always looking for new ways to be disappointed by not only technology, but my fashion choices as well. The process is simple enough. Upload a full body photo of yourself and the app creates a digital doppelganger, or Doppl as they're cleverly calling it. Then you screenshot clothes from anywhere online and the AI dresses up your avatar. It even fills in missing pieces. So say you upload a shirt and it'll generate pants for you so you're not naked. A real shame though if you're into that sort of thing. Unfortunately, calling this app buggy is like calling the Titanic a little bit leaky. Common complaints include frequent caches, loading failures, and difficulties creating avatars, even with high quality photos. Current versions only support basic garments like tops, bottoms, and dresses, excluding accessories and more complex clothing items. The lab's framework represents a win-win scenario, or of sorts. And by win-win, I mean Google gets a free unpaid beta tester and invaluable feedback, while users get access to this cutting-edge technology. Fair trade, I guess. While it's quite fun to play with, I think I'll stick to the old-fashioned method of buying my clothes that don't fit and pretending like I meant to do that. And in a breakthrough that could transform how we understand and treat disease, Google DeepMind has created AlphaGenome, an AI that can finally read the instruction manual for 98% of human DNA that we've been struggling to understand for decades. So how does AlphaGenome work? Well, imagine your DNA like a giant IKEA instruction manual written in Swedish, except that 98% of it isn't about actually building the furniture. Instead, it's about when to build it and where to put it, or whether you should even open the box in the first place. As you can imagine, that's a very simplistic explanation and glosses over the fact that it uses a hybrid architecture combined with convolutional layers and transformers and can process sequences up to 1 million. Honestly, it's really quite simple. Give AlphaGenome a DNA sequence and it'll predict thousands of molecules properties faster than you and I can predict what we'll have for lunch. It can tell you what the genes start and end, how RNA gets spliced, and which proteins will bind where, and gene expression levels. It's basically a fortune teller for your cells, except instead of a crystal ball, it's using a transformer model. And to prove that it wasn't just making educated guesses like my weather app, researchers tested AlphaGenome on a known cancer mechanism. They gave the DNA mutation that causes T-cell acute lymphobic leukemia, and the AI correctly identified exactly how it breaks things. I mean, that's just like giving a master mechanic a broken engine and watching him diagnose it without even popping the hood. Of course, AlphaGenome isn't perfect. I mean, who is? It struggles with DNA interactions over 100,000 base pairs. I mean, don't we all? But before you rush off and upload your 23andMe results, DeepMind specifically says that it's not valid for personal genome interpretation. So no, apparently it can't tell you if you're predisposed to putting pineapple on pizza. AlphaGenome is part of DeepMind's broader strategy to create a comprehensive suite of AI tools for biology. For scientists, AlphaGenome is like getting a cheat code for the world's hardest puzzle. Instead of spending years in lab testing genetic variations, which might cause or might not cause disease, they can now get a rank list in seconds. And so while you can't quite yet upload your DNA to get a detailed report on all your genetic issues, at least scientists now have a tool that reads the full manual instead of just looking at pretty pictures. And YouTube just announced a feature that lets you skip watching YouTube videos entirely, which is like McDonald's introducing a burger that lets you skip the whole eating part. Technically, that's more efficient, but doesn't that miss the whole point? The AI Overviews feature works by taking a query, analyzing relevant videos from the result before extracting and highlighting the most relevant part to your query, allowing you to get answers without actually, having to watch any videos on YouTube, the platform designed for watching videos. While currently limited to specific categories like shopping, travel, and local activities, it's already receiving a little bit of backlash. I mean, just imagine spending 40 hours of your time editing a tutorial only for YouTube's AI to take the best 30 seconds and show it to viewers who will actually never see your like and subscribe reminder. All jokes aside, considering creators rely on watch time, ad revenue, and engagement, I'm not sure I'm actually even on board with this direction. So stay tuned for YouTube's next innovation, where AI itself watches the videos for you and tells you whether or not you enjoyed them or not. Can't wait. And Meta is testing a new opt-in feature on Facebook called Cloud Processing, which requests continued access to users' camera roll for AI-powered creative suggestions. The feature works like this. You say, create a story within Facebook itself, and it'll pop up and say, do you mind if it just, rummages through your photo history just to give you creative ideas, helping you create collages, make recaps, and restyle some of your photos, like hiring an assistant who demands to see your entire diary before suggesting what you should wear. Oh, and if you click agree, the AI terms of service grant Meta extensive permissions to analyze your photos content, like facial features, metadata for dates and locations, and more. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm ready to give up my complete private photo collection just yet. Why they did respond with, we're not currently training our AI models with these photos, that's not the most reassuring line, and it sounds about as binding as my New Year's resolutions which I wrote down on a piece of paper. Crap. Now you can turn this feature off by heading to Facebook app on your phone, clicking settings, camera roll, sharing suggestions, then turning them both off. It's still not clear if this is just an experiment or a feature that will roll out more broadly. I'd recommend opting out for now, unless you really want AI-powered creativity and don't mind Meta having all your private photos. And that's it for this week. If you want to stay up with the latest AI news, come back next week for my next video.